Hey everybody, Raymond here with the Evercrafter. Welcome to our Sunday night pop-up random work on Mardi Junior Gator Live. That was a long name. I am Raymond with the Evercrafter, based out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you've seen this part, it's probably a replay, so go ahead and hashtag replay down below. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and how you found me. I'm going to get myself pulled up over here so I can read some comments, and I'll be right back. Hey Albert, hey Margarita, how you guys doing? There I am. I couldn't find myself, y'all. I still can't. Well, it says I'm right there, but I can't see my own live. Let me refresh. How y'all doing? Hey Becca, how are y'all? It let me share my live, but then it was like, you don't have a live. Yes, I do. I'm on it right now. Rude. There it is. Let me mute myself too. So, how has everyone's Sunday been? Well, hello, Carly, my stoner girl. I'm jealous of your warm weather over there. We have been in the 40s all day and rainy. And it looks like we're going to remain in the 40s, maybe the low 50s all week. Yay. Cool. Working now. Okay. So we're going to work on Mardi the Gator. I haven't worked on it since we worked on it together on Friday, I think it was. So we're going to work on him. I did finish my jewelry box from Thursday night. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. I'm not even sure if I shared pictures of it yet, actually. But I did finish the jewelry box. I love the bangle. It could also be an oversized ring, but we're going to call it a bangle. I did end up putting some trim at the bottom. I really want a stone across here, but I just think that's unnecessary for this project. I think that should be the only stones. But I still say it gives me Taylor Swift vibes for some reason. It cooled down. Carly, you see this big old disco ball right here? That is a ice bucket. It's from Five Below. So you should go to Five Below and get you a disco ball ice bucket. You should. It's a good size too. I'm using it as a riser right now, but so I'm cold. Oh, you can't see it? Oh, let me grab it. It's big. Like, it's bigger than my head. And just for reference, I only know this because I had to measure it. My head is 22 inches around. And it's bigger than my head. So it's huge. And it was only $15. Party Cities was like 50 something on sale. Just saying. But it works great for a riser. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I actually wanted it as a candy bucket, I think. Right, I could wear it like a hat. It would probably fit. Hey, Robin. So, make sure I hit the right glue out. Let me... Hello, Paula. Let me, make sure I don't got one right here. I don't. I'm gonna grab a... I could make it into a crown. Ooh. I should make a disco crown. Yes. Hey, Jenny. Let me grab a foam brush real quick from right there. I only have 2 left over there, so I guess I need to go buy foam brushes tomorrow. Hey, Sharon. Pull my sleeves up. Yeah, I never did find a new bracelet, and this one literally only has 3 pieces left on it. I just gonna have to order one because it's hanging on by literally a string. So this is where we got to last week with our gator and his little patchwork of clothing. We know this is just the base. This will all be the same color when we get done. Tonight we're gonna work on the arms, bulking those up, and then we're gonna start adding some some more shaping to the face. So we're gonna use a softer clay that I have. This is TCT Crafts clay. Hey, jellyfish. Like I said, it is a softer clay. So it works well for manipulating into the shape you want it to be. I actually got this for another project and it wasn't the color yellow I needed. So it'll work good for this, and then I can also use some of it that I will have left over possibly for Easter, because this is a good Easter yellow. It's a very buttery yellow. Like, I also had this in orange. I should have probably used the orange. But we use the yellow because I already have it out. Thank you for tossing me out. And y'all notice I just took a big old wad out. It's fine. We're using it for what we're using it for. If it dries a little bit, it's okay. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, we're going to start on the arms. And I know I'm contemplating on if we're going to leave the head on or take it off. It's one of those situations I could take it off, but then I have to reattach it. And it's on there pretty good. So we're just going to work with it on there. I may regret that decision when it comes time to cover him in green, but we'll find out. Hey, Tassie. So I'm just going to make a worm, just like we did last time, around the neck. And we're going to work this around the armpit area. I am going to make it a little thinner to put under here. As much as I don't want to do this, y'all, I think I'm going to have to take the head off. Like I said, it is on there pretty good. Like, I just ripped some styrofoam out. But I think I'm going to have to, just because I need to build that up the right way. Alright. I think I said hi, Tassie. If I didn't, hello, Tassie. Hey, Dewey. And all I'm doing right here is I am pushing this clay down into the clay below it. You could use glue here, 100%. It would not hurt you to add to the glue because you are putting the clay onto dry clay. Only reason I didn't is because it is a really wet. This is a wet clay. It's really a wet clay. Sister, sister. I'm going to assume you finished doing what you're recording. So I am going to do a small, thinner layer on the arms before I start to bulk them up any. That way my new clay can stick to this clay when I start to bulk it. Bulk it. Bulk it real good. Y'all may hear Corey laughing and things. He is actually in his office, which is over there, filming. He has a podcast that he's part of, and they're recording tonight. So he's in there recording in his room. And he's pretty loud, so. Gotcha. So, see, all I'm doing is making his arms yellow. They're talking about, I don't know if any of y'all watch it, but right, a headless gator. His podcast that he's on is I can't say this anyway, but so they review TV shows and horror movies and those type of things. It's it's a group of people. I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, so right now they are reviewing Mayfair Witches. I don't know if y'all have watched that or not. It's an Anne Rice book, but it's a TV show now also. So that's what they're doing this week, is they're starting on Mayfair Witches. Which I don't really care for. I wasn't impressed. I'm not impressed with Mayfair Witches. It doesn't have the same oomph as Anne Rice's Vampire Diaries did. But at least he agrees with me on that, so that's good. Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. But I'll be back again this time tomorrow. Carry on, carry on. I'm gonna get in trouble one day. We know it. It's odd how you started off as being Mama from Mama's family, and now we done transferred it over to Queen. Because this is such a soft clay, it does actually mold onto his arms really well. I think they are actually, theirs is on, I think it's YouTube. I've asked him before, and y'all, I know I'm a horrible husband, but in my defense, he also does not watch my lives anymore, so there's that. I don't even know what the podcast is called. I know, I'm horrible. I sent it to Sam one time because she asked me, and he happened to be sitting right there to tell me. That's literally the only reason I remembered. But I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. So if you notice, I didn't go all the way down the arm on this side. Because of that leg being so close, I'm going to have to be super careful right there. It's not going to matter when I cover it in green because of the way I'm going to do it. But I don't want to get it too stuck. Like, I know this yellow is going to be stuck to his leg. And I'm going to have to be okay with that. And I don't mind it because of the way I'm doing that section. But this is why on the last one I made, why I did do the arms separate. Right? I don't either. Horrible person, I know. And I'm also not covering the very ends of the arm. Like where the hands will attach. Alright, so we've got his arms covered in the yellow. Now what I need to do is go and bulk up a little bit here. What you having for dinner, if you don't mind me asking? So I see that you're eating, so I'm asking. And for bulking up, I'm really just adding a little bit of meat on the top parts. Not much, just a little bit. I just wanted to make them look a little bit thicker there. Does he? Yeah, theirs is they're not very consistent with their recording. I don't know why they're not, because they're all they had a decent. I mean, they have a decent following. They're just not very consistent with staying on top of recording. So, I mean, you can barely tell, but what I did is I added some here and here. I just wanted it to be a little bit meatier in those areas. Yes, you. What are you eating? Eating. All right. Now we're going to do the same and bulk up from here down. And I'm just making a worm log that I'm going to taper on one end. Hey, my dukes. Now what we're going to do is the thicker end is going to go here and straight up the middle of the back. I'm going to take my hand and press it down. So I'm kind of flattening it out and rounding it over. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take my paw, the palm of my hand, and pull it down towards the back. I'm flattening it out a little bit more. So I went straight down like that. What this is going to do is give me a spot, because think about the way a gator looks. The top of the tail and the back are pretty much all from here back down the tail is all the little spiky kind of area. You're having pho. Ugh. Gross. Hey, Cheryl. We had beef tips and gravy over rice, but we make our beef tips kind of like you would make a roast. So it's got, it's pretty much a roast. We put potatoes and carrots in it, just like you do a roast. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up further up his back. Like all the way up to where his head will be. And I'm gonna bring it over towards his arms. Same on both sides. Remember I said I'm not worried about there being cracking and stuff in this layer? Because it is going to all get covered, so. Now I am going in and pressing it down a little flatter. And rounding it off a little bit more. Let me do it on this side. Like, I don't want it to be sharp, but I also don't want it to be abnormally pokey. Hey, Trina. I didn't have cornbread, but Corey actually asked if I want cornbread. I was like, no, did I ever have cornbread with that? And he was like, I don't remember. I don't think you do, actually. Because I'm not a huge rice person, but beef tips or roast, that's one thing I like to have rice with. All right. So that's down the center of the back now. And this will be the area where there'll be some spikes outlining it and going around the tail. And that will also connect up to his head. So that'll be pretty cool. And I'm going to go in and put around the neck area, put a little bit more of the yellow. I've never liked, I just can't do pho. I can't. I have a really good friend he's Vietnamese. And he's always like, come on, come on. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. So I finally tried it with him one day and I was like, see, this is why I don't do this. This is gross. Sorry. Yeah, I can't. Mm-mm. Do they? Thank you, Tassie. Because I'm going to Michael's tomorrow to look for something else, and I will probably grab some because I finally started taking down Christmas today, and I need more storage containers. Yeah, that'll work. I just wanted to bulk up the front area of his neck a little bit. Because once we get the mouth and head back on, we'll connect the two. So that way there's not so much depth, empty space in there. All right, now let's go ahead and you had salmon and rice. I have. Let me think. No, I don't think. I was trying to think. I'm not a huge salmon person. I like salmon patties made with fresh or canned. I don't really care. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the leg area too while we're down here. I need to put some glue down there though. Oh, hey Lucy. I actually have not taken any of the stuff off my front porch yet. So I still have all my Christmas up there. Now I took it out of my yard during the tornado that night. But yes, I went outside during a tornado to take down the Christmas decorations. because I was worried about having to replace them next year. That's dedication right there. Actually, that's just craziness, but you know. My living room tree, I took all the tinsel off of it. So it doesn't have any tinsel on it. All the, what's it called? The icicle tinsels. I took all that off. But I have not taken the ornaments off of it yet. That is actually going to be after I pack away the dining room. Because the dining room had a lot more stuff I had to take care of. Like, I normally am not ready to get my holiday stuff down. I am this year because I'm excited to put my Mardi Gras stuff up. That is the only reason that I'm excited or ready to take down my Christmas. Because, you know, down here, Mardi Gras, Christmas comes down, Mardi Gras goes up. So, and I got some really cool stuff for this year for Mardi Gras, so. Nice, that's a good price. That's what I use for my blown glass ornaments, or those kind of containers. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that Mardi Gras is going up, I wouldn't be ready. So I'm just pushing this on there, bulking that up with the clay, covering the tape. Like I said, I'm not worried about it being perfect. So that leg's covered. It's got some little fat legs. Marty Jr.'s got a little bit of chub to him. Can y'all hear him? And the thing is, I know exactly what he's talking about, even though I don't like the show. Okay, what you got, Becca? So, yes. It's green, gold, or yellow, purple. I don't remember the reasoning for the order being that. But I do know that the gold has to be in the middle. But I can't remember why. And I know that's crazy that I can't remember, but I cannot. And I'm not sure that it matters as much as long as the gold is in the middle. That's the main thing. I don't have any of my ribbon in here to look at either. I saw that. And there's one that they have. It's a white. They have three that look almost identical. But they have like a white iridescent looking one that's got like a fleur-de-lis shape at the top of it. And they have that same mask at the Mardi Gras store down here. And it's like $10. And Dollar Tree has pretty much this identical mask for $1.25. We went yesterday with a client, a client of mine, to the wholesale place, and some of the masks they had were beautiful. I mean, they were beautiful masks, but they wanted like $50 for them. I was like, no. Walmart here actually has some really pretty ones, so we went to Walmart and got her mask that she needed from there, and it was like the same style mask, just a different fabric on it, and it was $10. All right. So just to let everybody know, me and Sam from Comedy's Graphic Corner, we are hosting a Mardi Gras event in February, the 10th through the 15th. Myself, her, and Trent from Bayou Wreaths and Supplies will be in wreaths, and RK Ribbon Designs Rachel, Anise with Southern Bougie Creations, and Charlotte from, I can't remember how to say her name right now. I apologize ahead of time. It's Southern Butterfly Creations LLC. We'll be doing attachments. Hey, Cousin Janet. Did I say her name right, Sam? Southern Butterfly Creations LLC. I don't think I'm saying that right. Country Butterfly Creations. Okay. It's the Creations that's the same as Anise, not the Southern. Got it. All right, so we got his little legs done, covered. So we bulked up the back. We gave him some arms here. That's already kind of dry, y'all. We got the legs covered. I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of yellow on the feet. And I'm doing this in a weird way. So I'm making that weird banana shape again. Going behind the foot towards the front. Okay. And pushing up into the what we already put on there. The reason I'm doing that is so that the foot, Mardi Gras is the first weekend of March is like when most parades, like that's the big Mardi Gras weekend. But parades will run pretty much all February. Like they already started having balls. The first balls were this weekend. We are not going to any balls this year. So I'm kind of taking the back. I'll show y'all in just a second and making it kind of pointed looking. Hey, Michelle Joseph. I'm going to do the same thing again, the little banana shape. And go around the front of the foot. and push it up onto the same way. The foot needs to be a little chunky on the front. Now I will go in and cover the bottom of these also. But we're going to bulk that up where it's not so thin also. So yeah, it's a season. Like actual Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday is the 3rd, I believe. No. The 6th. Then you have Ash Wednesday on that following Wednesday. But the parades run pretty much all through February, like for pretty much an entire month. Right now, I'm just going in and adding these ridges down his feet. That will be connected to where his little baby claws come out at. And honestly, I can't remember if there's supposed to be 3 or 4. But I'm just doing 3 for right now, and then I'll go back in and fix it if I need to. I actually want to move that one over. Like, the feet will make more sense once you see them covered in the green. So that will be the start of his foot. Let's do the other side. March 4th, okay. I just know I'm off work from the Friday through the Wednesday. We're not closed for all those days, but I'm off. We're actually only closed on Fat Tuesday. But ever since I've worked there, I've been the one who gets to have off Mardi Gras. Because we used to be part of a crew, a Mardi Gras crew, so we don't do that anymore because it costs too much money. And I'm going to try to see if I can get these close to the same shape. I'm not really worried about it being perfect, but I do want them to be close. Now that I do not know, actually. I do not know why they call it Fat Tuesday. But I will see if I can find that out and let you know. I know that the colors deal with royalty. They were actually picked not because they had something significant to local anything. It was there was a visit from royalty from across seas coming during that time, and they needed to do something, and that's the colors they picked. That's how we ended up with those colors. I do have a friend on TikTok. If it doesn't get taken away, there you go. I knew it had something to do with Lent, but I couldn't remember what. Corey's in there having him a good old time, y'all. But I have a friend. Her name is Ellie Platt. She owns a company in New Orleans called Crown by Ellie. She makes headpieces. I talked about her last week. I think actually on her live the other night. If y'all want to follow her, she does Mardi Gras history on her page. It's pretty cool. But her name is Crown by Ellie, and she's on the TikTok. She's on here too, but she does share some of her videos and stuff over here. But she does most of her stuff is on TikTok for now. She actually, she might be live right now actually on her TikTok. She goes live a lot of times on Sundays nights. Not as much right now during the season because she, like I said, she's the queen of Mardi Gras, one of the Mardi Gras parades this year. So she has been pretty busy. She just recently did the making of her crown for the vault. I mean, her queen crown is instead of doing like most queens will go and they have a crown custom made and whatnot. Well, her mother was also a queen of Mardi Gras, so she's actually taken her mother's crown and they're adding to it to make it hers. Thought that was pretty cool. So it's like continuing, you know, with her mom's, and now she's giving it to herself. Her mom gave it to her, and maybe one day her daughter will be the queen of Mardi Gras. She can wear it and add something of her own to it also. All right, so we've got our feet done. I think I want to look at them from this angle, and I think I want to make them a little bit skinnier on the sides. But I can do that with the green clay. I can bulk widen out the fronts just a little. I can widen out this area a little bit when I do the green clay. That way I can give them more of the bowed out look like a alligator has. I should probably put something under him. Let me put a piece of parchment under there. If I'm going to keep moving around. There. I know it'll wrinkle some that way, but it's on the bottom, so it's okay. But it'll just make it easier to pick it up and stuff. Alright, so we've got that. We put a little piece across the back right here, where I didn't connect those. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go in and add a little bit around the ball where the tail's going to attach. I'm going to go in and add some there real quick. There's not a lot I can do in the tail area until we attach the tail. But like I said, we're not attaching the tail. We're actually going to cover it separate and then attach it. Because it actually will have to have more sculpting done because of the way the tail's going to wrap around. Like, we'll have to figure out how we want the shape of it to go. Do we want the whole back to be the back all the way around, or do we want to flip it to where you can see some of the underside of the tail also? Lots of questions that go into this part. This is also the step where you can give him some a little more character than you can. You know what I mean? Like I could start building in character at this point. So the tail we know is going to come. The stomach goes under, and then the same color as the stomach is actually the same color as the bottom of the tail. So we may be able to just wrap that to where you can see it on the side, like right here, where the tail wraps around. Where's the tail? If this is that on there, well, it'll go on. So we could fix it to where part of the tail is showing right here, like the underside of the tail. I could also take this around. Do that. Like this, to where you see the underside here. So there's different ways we can attach, do that. Like right now, that's going to be the shape of the tail. So, yeah. I'm actually think I might want to change that just slightly. Yeah, just slightly. Yep. All right. Now we're going to sit him to the side, and we're going to work on the face. Let me make a little room over here for him to go. Because I put that parchment on him, I could sit him on the ground, but he's not going to sit right. There we go. That'll do. So for this part, most of our sculpting is going to be on the outside of the head. What I mean is, we won't be putting anything in here on the inside of the mouth, because that will all get done in the final steps. That'll be the actual colors and everything go in there. So what we're going to do is build up all this area. M. Jones, stop. We're going to start working on the head. Covering it. We have covered the body. There's his arms, his legs, down his back. That's where his tail will eventually attach. We gave him some little feet. He does not have arms. Hands yet. I think hands. I might actually make the hands at the very end when I do the inside of the mouth also. So, Corey is actually Catholic, if y'all didn't know that. I think we've talked about that. So, I actually cannot, I do not like when Lent starts. Corey being Catholic, they don't eat meat on Fridays. Typically, they eat seafood on Fridays. Nice. I am not a huge seafood person, which is horrible considering where I live. We've had that discussion. So Friday, trying to find food that a place that we both could go eat at is horrible. Because Fridays are typically our date nights. We typically go do something every Friday night. Unless it's cold, then we will sit our butts at home. But yeah, so going out to eat during Lent is horrible. Like fried fish, I'm okay with. I could do fried fish. But he wants to go like have boiled shrimp and crawfish, and I'm just like, again, I just want a burger. But typically, the seafood restaurants, I can't get that, you know? So that part kind of sucks. There is a church right outside our neighborhood. It's actually a Catholic church. It's not the one he goes to, but they actually have fish fries every Friday night. You can go buy plates, but the line is always ridiculous. But there have been over the last several years several restaurants here. We do, but it's like in Louisiana, it's hard to find a restaurant where you can get both. Where both items are good. Like it's either really good seafood and not the other food's not good, or it's really good regular food and the seafood's bad. Like that. Hey, that's fine with me. I will take all the manwich that you want to give me. Y'all, I love it. I love manwich. Clearly, I mean, I did eat it all last week, so. So I'm building up the area here on the back of the head. So it's the area behind here. Like we've got one restaurant here called Willie's that they have a really good both. Like they do really good at both foods. Downside is because they're good at both, it's slammed on Fridays. That's another thing. Baton Rouge is a huge place. It is. It's a big city. Downside, people here like to pretend it's not a big city. So in turn, you don't have as much stuff here as you would think you would. This is the capital. Hey, D. This is the capital of Louisiana. You would not think it was by the way that the city is set up. It is set up like it's a small town when it's actually a huge city. That's why if you like a lot of people that travel hate driving through here because traffic is always so bad here. It's like they refuse to put a loop around the city. Hey, Peggy. They refuse to put a loop around the city. Like most big cities have a loop where you can bypass. Like if you need to go to the other side of town, you don't have to drive through town. You can just drive around. They don't have that here. Because they feel that it will make it feel too city-like. Yeah. Sir, we have 3 interstates that run right through town. And they all connect in one spot. You know? It's just crazy. Not very user-friendly. Got a big wad of glue right there I need to get off. Okay. I hate driving here. That's why I don't. Like, I literally hate driving here. I mean, come on. To be honest, I hate driving anywhere, but you know, like I cannot stand to drive. So you're coming for a seafood and a hurricane? Okay. Come at the right time, you can do both. Within my first month of being here, I had my first hurricane. Like my first month of living here, I had my first hurricane. It was definitely an interesting experience. It was not a horrible hurricane, but it was enough that it knocked power out for over a week. And my hometown, like where I'm from, they put a story about it in the newspaper, and they're like, if you had to describe it, how would you describe living through your first hurricane? I was like, much like the South, you know, because I'm from Arkansas. I said, much like living in Arkansas, there's a hurricane coming. You go outside and you look for it. And it's true. Everybody was outside. You know, you're looking at the sky. You're watching the wind blow. You're seeing what it's blowing. Like, it's a lot like that. One of the things that differ. Oh no, she may be talking about the drink. I didn't think about that. Makes perfect sense, Hundy. I had a moment. I told him, I was like, it's like being in a hurricane, you know? I mean, a tornado, except you know it's coming. Which is true. Like, you knew it was coming, so you prepared. With a tornado, you don't really know it's coming till it's too late. So, that's the main difference between the two. Of course, since then, I have been in stronger hurricanes, and I was like, okay, they're nothing alike other than the sheer wind, you know? Where'd you grow up at, Becca? We can definitely get you a hurricane. You just know that you're going to be on your butt afterwards. So I'm still working on building up this back area here. That side did a lot better than the other side. Portsmouth, Ohio. Never heard of that one, but I would believe you though. Hey, Chrissy. I'm just kind of trying to get rid of that being so indented right there. It actually needs to be more round. I should have put more stuff there. Oh, entire downtown Baton Rouge is nothing but one-way streets. River Road is two-way, and then you on one side of downtown you have the interstate, and like 6 blocks, and then you have the River Road. Everything between that is one way, this way and this way. No, yeah, all the roads are one way. So annoying, especially when you're downtown and you have to go somewhere. And don't need to leave downtown in a hurry because you're not. Gotcha. I won't let you follow nobody's pee. My first trip to Bourbon Street with Corey, we were in the pub, which is one of the gay bars, and he had barely had one full drink, and he fell on his butt and slid down the stairs because it's a 2-story one, and slid down the stairs all the way down. It was pretty funny. Yeah, we've got one bar in New Orleans, one of the gay bars, pubs, that it's the same place, the same club, but the upstairs and downstairs both have different names. It's really weird. But it's the same one. Like your receipts for upstairs and downstairs, because they both have bars, your receipts say the same thing. They just have different names. They call them different things. So all I'm doing now is I'm filling in the area where his eyes are. These are going to be where his eyes go. So I'm just connecting all that together. I may end up bulking this up just a little bit on the sides. Thank you, K-Love. How you doing? You feel going up the stairs? I could see me doing that. I'm just putting some right here between the eyes, the eye area. I'll put a little glue right there. And all I'm doing is, like I've been doing, I'm just working this to cover the outside area. And this is also, like I said, you remember how I was saying you could start adding some character in while you're sculpting these areas? Like you can give him a little bit of a nose bone in between his eyes. And then once that all dries, you can go back and add it a little bit thicker, you know. He also is kind of looking a little duckish. That's the reason I may want to bulk that up in the back a little bit. I'm doing good today, Caleb. Had a lazy day at home. I say a lazy day, but I worked on taking Christmas down for a while. Corey cooked. We watched some TV. We did go to the grocery store, and I forgot to get juice. And if you know me, you know that's not a good thing. So I've got to go get juice in the morning on the way to work. I hate not having my juice. I did buy some disposable coffee cups, so I remembered that. I don't drink coffee. I drink hot chocolate in the mornings. Okay. So we still got to cover this section, the bottom jaw. I know, like, I'm a little upset that I forgot juice. It was on my list. I just didn't take my list in the store. I did find, I was looking for a certain size, what are they called? I'm going to call them by the wrong name, but y'all will know what I'm talking about. Spice shelf risers that you put your spice bottles on. I needed some for my sprinkles in here. And every ones I tried were too big because my cubes are a weird size. I did find some today that fit. And they're like a quarter of an inch too deep, but they work fine. So I was pretty excited about that. I found them at Dollar General. Actually, I told Tina about them the other day because I was going to get them then and did not make it over the other day. Right, I did. I forgot my juice at the store. And that just means I have to stop in the morning on the way to work, which means I can't sleep in, which means I will sleep in, and then I'll just be late for work, which is nothing normal. I mean, unusual. I'm often late for work, especially on Mondays. But it's okay because I'm the boss. So... this yellow color, it's just called yellow, really reminds me of buttercream. I don't know why, because buttercream is not yellow, but that's what it reminds me of. Hey, Maria. Maria. What am I doing? I am going in and kind of squaring off the nose area. Because I want it to be more squared on the front. Yep. Hey, Marcella. How are you? Now I am making... No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to go ahead and put his lip line on, but I'm going to wait and do that out of the actual green. We are working on our gator body tonight, Maricela. I've got the body pretty much covered with all my different clays now. I'm working on the head, and then I will go back in and work on covering the whole thing with the green. I'm doing good. My stomach's making weird noises. I know it's not hungry. I literally just ate before I came on. Just adding a little bit more, like I said I was going to do, to the back of the head area. I just want it to be a little fatter in the back. On the sides, I mean. Working that body. I don't even know if that's a song. And I'm literally making this because I don't have my other one in here for reference anymore. I'm kind of making up the shape as I go, since I don't have a reference in here anymore. I just have to be careful that I don't turn him into looking like a different animal again. It's a song now, right? It's a song now. See, I just widened these two areas right here a little bit. Like you can't really tell it on here, but I can see it here. I just felt like it needed to be a little chunkier on the top. See, so now you can see the yellow on each side of his eyes, where you couldn't really before. Oh no, Tina, I'm sorry you don't feel good. Or we still have to do the bottom jaw, but let's pull him back over. Right there. We're not going to attach it. We're just sitting him up there. And he got stuck. I knew that was going to happen. See? He's giving Gator. But we're going to let that dry, and then we'll trim as we need. And once we do the bottom jaw, ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Yep, great song. Yeah, let's go ahead and cover the bottom jaw, and then we'll add the first part of bulking to the tail, and then we'll decide what we're going to do on the next time. The next time, we might be able to start covering in the green. We might. Now, I'm not doing anything here, but I am covering here. The reason I'm not doing anything in that very center section is that's what's going to attach right here to the top of his body. I'm concentrating, y'all. I'm sorry. So I'm just put the clay on there. I'm pushing it backwards, making sure it's attached where it needs to be. You don't, I just got it stuck to his side of his head because I have glue on my hands. Get that off. Okay. We will have to add a little bulking to the jawbone, like these areas, to make them look like they're more connected. Okay. At least this will be our first layer on the bottom jaw. So what we'll do once we add the actual fabric, the actual green, this will actually get wrapped into here. So it'll look more connected. That should dry all the way around. Like this should be able to dry fine on the bottom because the jaws keep it up off the ground. So it should be able to dry all the way around. Thank you. So we know this is pretty much the shape. So I'm just going to go in and do some worms. I am not doing a Valentine's tree this year. I did share 2 from past years. I shared 1 today, and then my Queen of Hearts tree is in my cover photo, I believe. Hey, Cindy. We're working on our gator. Tonight we're bulking up some more. We just finished bulking up the head and the rest of the body. Now I'm working on the tail. Just getting those pieces started. As soon as I get these 2 pieces on here, I'll show what we did to the body and the head. Went over a few things I would change if I was doing it again. I would do it more like I did last year, and I would build more of it as pieces and then attach it. Like the arms and stuff I probably would have done separate and then attached them. Well, hello, Michelle Mason. Ma'am. I thought you were mad at me. I thought you weren't going to show up tonight. I was accidentally mean to ma'am earlier today on Sam's Live, I think it was. So I thought she wasn't going to show up and watch tonight. You just got home. It'll go by quick, I promise. Thank you. He was so much fun to make. He really was. See, okay, Valentine's is the only holiday I don't have shower curtains for. Well, I mean, I don't have Thanksgiving because, of course, I go straight from Halloween till Christmas. But, like, let me rephrase that. I don't have one for Valentine's. I do for the major holidays, but not the other ones. Does that mean that I wouldn't consider it? Not at all. If I saw one I liked, I would. So just remember, all this needs to be the same size, pretty much. So that's why I'm adding more. Because it's going to have to be bulked up quite a bit. And I may actually add some of the bulking to the tail off the live, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do so much of it. Night, mama. Mama, good night. I hope you sleep well, and I'll talk to you tomorrow in the morning light. Sleep well, sleep well. I'm just making up songs tonight, you guys. I'm glad y'all love me enough to be okay with that. Yeah, this is going to be a really rough looking tail until we get a lot more bulk on there. All right, just a little bit more to get that, and then we'll let that dry. Yeah, I think I might need to eat again. Oh, that's Other than missing home, obviously, and you missing him. Is he liking school and everything? So I know that first year away can be kind of hard. Ooh, tacos. We made plans tonight to go eat Mexican next weekend. I would much rather just cook some tacos at home, to be honest, because then I can have as many of them as I want. Oh yeah, of course. So I'm going to slightly attach a pointy area to the end, just a little bit pointier than it was. But this won't be the final shape. You know what I mean? Because it will actually get a little bit more shaping to make it a little bit more. It'll actually make it a little bit longer when we add the next set on. So that's going to be the base for our tail. I'm not doing this ball yet. Let me pull the body back over. Move the head forward. All right, so we added some feet, a base for the foot. We bulked the arms. We brought the thickness down for the tail, where it goes up the back. So the tail, when attached, move the head out of the way. Will be very similar to that. So it's going to be a little bit bulky. It's going to need to be bulked up just a little bit more. And then we'll have our head here. So I think he's giving a gator. I think we're at gator now. Trying to get that side angle. Yeah. We're at gator now, so that's good. And I'm actually going to leave the tail attached like that so that it can kind of dry in the way it's going to lay. which will help me in the end. I am going to go ahead and add this last ball of clay I've got right here to the back of the head. Like right here. Just because I want that to be a little bit more boxed off. And I can always come back in and add more if I need to. Hey, Jay Woods. We're just about done for the night, but at least you came and said hi. I'm assuming you were off playing. Thank you, Q. Yeah, I like that being a little bit more squared off back there. But yeah, I think we're there. So what we'll do next time is probably start adding some green. I'm going to bulk up the tail a little bit more off camera because y'all don't have to sit here and watch me do that. The hands are going to be done in the final step along with the inside of the mouth and the eyes. I will be hollowing out a little section of these right here to add the inserts for the eyes into, because of course they're not going to be clay eyes. They'll be Raymond's eyes, the kind I like to use. But I think we're onto it now. And like I said, if you are going to try something like this and you want a really good clay, hey Christy, if you want a really good clay to mold and shape and really, it works good for outside of projects too, especially if you're kind of wanting to shape with it. But for like this, the TCT Crafts clay works really well for this because you can push it and shape it with your hands, and it's soft enough that you can make it do what you want it to do. So it works good for that. So that's just a little bit of info there. I will be using my green from Great Creations to do the outside. Because we all know that's my favorite green. I've never hid that from anybody. Marie with Great Creations, Faux Cupcakes makes my favorite green. And I've got 3 bags I'm looking at, plus a few others, and it won't take all that. So can't sleep. Oh no. Count sheep. Just playing. That's a line from, they talk. If you're a Golden Girls fan, you will know that Rose Nyland can't count sheep because she's allergic. So she tried to count the Jackson 5 instead. But she gets to Tito and forgets. Yeah, I'm sorry. I like Golden Girls. But all right, y'all. I am going to let y'all go for tonight. And I haven't posted this week's schedule yet. I'll do that probably tomorrow. For this, I will probably, if I do this the way I want to, I can probably have this done with just 1 bag of clay. Maybe a bag and a half, but I think in less than a bag should be fine. Because I'm not going to use it thick. I'm going to try to cover it different than the way I covered the last one. That's why I'm saying that. Done that? Oh no. Have a glass of milk. That's what I do when I get up at 2:30 in the morning. I get up every day at 2:30 in the morning. And I have milk and then I go back to bed. But anyway, another day, another story. But yeah, maybe a bag to a bag and a half should be fine. If I use that much. But I'm going to play with some techniques to make sure and see if that's what I want to do. Love ya. Have a good night, sister. I will probably post my weekly schedule tomorrow. I've got to clarify a few dates for this week. Other than that, be wonderful, make something wonderful, and live happily ever crafter. Good night, y'all. Have a great day tomorrow.